Do you see that baby? That baby is me. My name in this life is Ramses, but throughout all of my lifetimes, I am known as Baby Ranger. Something remarkable happened to me on this day. I heard a calling that no one else around me seemed to be able to hear. A calling from space, from a rocket ship. I tried to ask my mother if she heard it too, but alas, I was only a baby and couldn't express myself properly. She thought I was interested in a rock. No, Mama, not a rock, a rocket. A rocket ship on its way to outer space. Hearing the music, it was all my young imagination could think about. Who was it that was going to be in the rocket ship? Was it one of the adults? Was it my mama? Or could it be me? Was I, Baby Ranger, destined to fly away into the great unknown? I had to find out. Perhaps it was coincidence, or perhaps it was a mother's intuition, but it wasn't long before my ma brought me over to see the rockets for the first time. Witnessing them in person was breathtaking. They were marvelous. They were everything I ever imagined and more. And it was then that I had made up my mind. I was going to help build the next rocket ship. I was going to work hard, and through my sheer determination, I was to win over the family so that they would choose me to be their next astronaut. There was only one itsy-bitsy, itty-witty, tiny small little detail that I hadn't taken into consideration at that time. I didn't know the first thing about building a rocket ship. I didn't even know how to build a truck. I couldn't even build an engine for that matter. How was I supposed to convince my family to send me into space? But that didn't stop me. After all, I was Baby Ranger. I could do anything I put my mind to. And so, my crafting adventure began. I joined the workforce in the smithy, helping out wherever I could, and before I knew it, more people had joined me. And then more people, and more people, and more people had joined. All of us were working hard. All of us had the same goal, and I realized that building this rocket ship truly was a family endeavor. One that every one of us wanted to take part in. Yet sadly, the rocket ship could only hold one passenger. Only one person would be lucky enough to get into outer space. It wasn't long before I felt out of place. With so many people working in the smithy, my limited knowledge was starting to become more apparent. So what could a Baby Ranger do to help? I did the only logical thing, of course. I took it upon myself and realized my true destiny was to transform into Charcoal Man. I would be in charge of making the charcoal that would help fuel the machines in the smithy. That way, I was still working hard, and I could still prove to my family that I was worthy of becoming an astronaut. The first Baby Ranger, Charcoal Man in space. A true legend. Alas, as it turned out, Charcoal Man wasn't my only destiny that day. While out looking for more wood to burn into charcoal, I came across a funeral in the graveyard. An old woman was mourning the recent loss of her sister. I did what I could to help mend her spirits before I got back to work. Then it happened. What I truly believed was the moment I had been waiting for my entire life. Baby Ranger was given the rights to the property gate that housed the rocket ship. This was it. Despite my lack of crafting knowledge, and through my sheer hard work and determination, I had proven to my family that I was one of the worthy ones. However, destiny is a funny thing, and it isn't always straightforward. Shortly after helping the old woman, I found an orphaned baby. Baby Ranger was now a dad. I raised my daughter the best I could, and I told her all about the rocket ship that the family was building. Her baby eyes sparkled, as mine once had, at the very thought of the rocket ship, and I could tell, at that moment, that we were one in the same. She wanted to be an astronaut, but only one person could ride the rocket into outer space. I didn't have the heart to tell her the truth. She followed in her father's footsteps and became Charcoal Baby, and then Charcoal Girl, and together her and I made more charcoal than we even knew was possible. Life continued on. However, as the rocket ship was nearing its completion, so too was my life. As all of the best things usually are, my youth felt as if it were over in a flash. Now, I was Old Man Baby Ranger, and I had yet to be crowned the next astronaut in space. Feeling reflective, my daughter and I decided to take a trip over to the completed rocket ships, as well as the one we had been working so desperately to finish. There, we met some friends who too were reflecting on their own lives. We all wanted to be astronauts. We all had worked so very hard for the title. Yet, I was reminded of what truly mattered most. My daughter, she perhaps had the most desire of us all. Coupled with her youth, it was hard to deny that she was better suited to the destiny of space travel. My journey was coming to an end, but perhaps my daughter's journey was just beginning. Perhaps my destiny all along was not to go into outer space, but to raise the astronaut that would. The family seemed to approve of it too. I was a proud father. So I did what any proud Baby Ranger father would do. I started to dance. We danced and danced and danced. Until I became ancient. And then we danced some more. It was quite the party. But my time in this life was over, and so I made my way to the graveyard, where I told the story of Rocket Town's origins to my daughter and a young girl. Once upon a time, this was my Eve Town, Eterno. A day ago, it was just trees and wilderness. Now it is Rocket Town. I am honored. The legend of Baby Ranger is a mysterious one. A hero is usually needed when least expected. A starving village would need someone to farm or to hunt for food. An orphan baby would need a caretaker. A village under attack would need someone to fight back against any evils. Those who step up are heroes, and those who are heroes are Baby Ranger. They are born with the spirit of bravery and goodwill. As my life slipped away, my old man imagination brought me back to the rocket ship. There, I had done it. I was flying high into space. I was an astronaut. I will see you soon, Mama. Fly high, my daughter. Fly high, Baby Ranger.